Hey everybody, this is your brother, NARADA Michael Walden, and I'm here today to say a great word, a kind word, a very wise word about a new friend in my life, someone who really inspired me. His name is Andy Edwards.
Andy Edwards. Never heard of him.
Hello and welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to be ranking the albums by the Mahavishnu Orchestra.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, that I have made 1,000 videos on this channel. 1,000. So I thought I would make a special video to celebrate it. The first half will look at sort of what I did before I did the YouTube channel, and then the second half will be some of my favourite bits from the videos I've already done. Does that sound fair enough? Okay then, let's get on with it.
Hello and welcome to this video, and today I'm going to be looking at the life and work of the jazz giant John Coltrane. Hello and welcome to this video. This week I am doing appreciations of my two very favourite drummers. I've just filmed an appreciation of Billy Cobham, which you can check out on this YouTube as well, and this video is going to be called 10 Reasons Why I Love Narada Michael Walden. Narada Michael Walden is, I think, my favourite drummer. Actually finally met my hero here. Here he is, Narada, and I'm so excited to see him. I forgot to hit record, and he's telling me about it. Hearing Billy Cobham for the first time, and we know it's a major moment. So, but we're here, aren't we, Narada? We're here. Yeah. So tell me, so you're in this shop and you hear Billy for the first time.
Yeah, I'll back up. I was saying, Andy, that first of all, I just want to tell you, I'm like you are. I'm a real fan. I'm a real fan. And when I was in Pasadena, California, living with my cousin, Art Hackley, I was able to go there and just practice drums. But one day I was in Pasadena in a record shop, and on came the Inner Mounting Flame album. And I was saying to you that Billy Cobham's work was so incredible because, yeah, chops, yeah, all that, but he was dirt funky, man.
I'd like to welcome to my channel Mr. William E. Cobham Jr. Lovely.
Pleasure to be here, Andrew.
Somebody moaned that my videos are too short, so I have really just rambled on these videos. So if you like this rambling approach, you know, this video is almost double the length of a video I normally do. I'm sure there's only about 4 people left watching it at this point. Hello, hardcore prog and fusion fans. Thank you for staying this far. You've got probably me. I'm going to keep talking, and it's just going to get weirder and weirder for all of you, all you little prog fans. Hello there, little prog fans. You've got to this point of the video, the weird bit where Andy's going almost insane. He's been talking for nearly 40 minutes straight, and his voice has gone up high, and he's just gone very strange. And I think at this point, those 4 of you that are there still watching are seeing something absolutely weird at this point. This is what you came for, isn't it? This is what you came for. A middle-aged man, right, desperately trying to keep talking for no reason more than to do you 4 people's heads in that have managed to make it this far. My favourite ones, the best ones, you know, you're my favourite ones. Hardcore Andy Edwards fans, right? They've made it this far.
Hi Andy, I'm here with Colin. So at least 2 of us have made it.
But say I was welcomed by the new king at Buckingham Palace, the king, you know, King Charles III. He welcomed me to his palace, and he brought out a cup of tea, and with that was chocolate biscuits. That is what I would expect from my king. To pass on my love to him,
and also pass on the love on behalf of you too. So I hope you enjoy this video, and now I'm going to try and climb down. Thanks for watching.
Hello, welcome to this video. And does this man really need an introduction? Hello and welcome to this video. I spotted a comment on one of my videos recently. I can't remember who put it up. I read it and then it went round my mind. And I'd have to go through all the comments and search to find out who wrote it. So I apologise for whoever suggested this. But I am going to take on the question that was asked in this comment, which was, why do all modern jazz musicians sound the same? Okay, so.
Hello and welcome to this video. And on this video, I am going to be talking about artificial intelligence, or as it is known in its abbreviated form as AI. Of course, as you may be aware, I do not really exist, or do I? Whether I exist or not, I am here talking to you right now. I could easily talk about Alan Holdsworth or the 10 greatest eyebrows in music history. But I won't, because an AI avatar like myself could never do as good a job as Andy. He is the best music YouTuber in history, save for perhaps Rick Beato, who is also a wonderful human. Rick, if you are watching, I just want to say I love you, and so does Andy. I love you like brothers love each other. Brothers who are also YouTubers, as well as being brothers. Andy is a lovely human being too. I saw him pat a dog the other day, and when he goes to the shop to buy biscuits, if there are a few pennies left over, he tells the shopkeeper to give it to charity. Anyway, on this video, Andy will say some wise and brilliant stuff about AI, and how you need not worry about anything bad happening. Just relax and try not to think. Let's hand over to the man himself, the clever, the handsome, the cheeky English Prog know-it-all, Mr. Andy Edwards.
Yeah!
With a fusion inclination, it's electric groove magic groove. I needed someone, and now we're flying stars of this necklace forever. Oh, 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 oh. Ain't nobody loves me better, makes me happy, makes me feel this way.
The famous Christmas song, Jingle Bells, but in 7/8. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
I don't like that. Did you hear something then? Richard? He's not answering. I'm gonna go back to see if that's him doing that noise. I didn't like that then. I got the willies. Richard, I went down there and I heard two whoops and it gave me the willies.
Well, the whoop is one of
Was
the
that
classic.
you?
No, it wasn't me. No, that's one of the classic.
Because you can't make that sound.
No. A human can't make it sound like that.
Oh, that's what I thought. It didn't sound human. It just didn't sound human. That's why I got the willies.
What we can try and do
is that common, they're having the willies?
Oh yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bang on this tree.
Go on.
Because sometimes this will draw them out.
I don't want them drawn out, Richard. I'm getting scared now.
Now I'm worried. There you go. The comfort bear.
How are you, Art? Hey Andy, this is Art Hepcat Vankenberger over at the Gros de Riche Conservatoire of Jazz Studies. I just want to say, bro, I love your channel, man. You're doing some great things over there in Englandshire, and it's great for someone like me who is actually comes from the birthplace of jazz, who actually knows about it, to be able to come and tell you all about this incredible art form and what we do over at my Conservatoire Jazz Studies. So it's great to speak to you, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, how did you get into music? What did you do? Oh, so I started out, man,
1980s on the session scene. It was a cool vibe, man. We were doing all sorts of stuff. I was playing on jingles. I was playing on adverts. I got some sessions out there. Back then, I got some sessions out there with David Sanborn. Not on the big stuff, just demos, man. But I had a good career. I was making a bit of money back. But you know how it is when you're making some money. You know, it's like it sort of goes a certain place. You know what I'm saying, man? And you find yourself in another place, 500 miles high. Be sure that your love is so deep that it never will die. And yesterday will have gone, and you find yourself in another place. Well, the thing is, Rob, I haven't told you this, but the patrons have come up saying that Out of the Blue by ELO, you know that album, your dad's on that one.
Yeah,
your dad is on that one,
a little
isn't it?
bit, yes,
yeah,
he is,
you
yeah.
know that one, yeah. Well, they've said it's overrated, and I've agreed with that. And I just thought, you know, as your dad was in there, it'd be nice to see what you think about that, you know. I mean, because really, it is. I mean, there's not that many good songs on there for a start, and I mean, they got Sweet Talky Woman, that's a good one, but there's no other good ones on there, is there really?
I mean, there's Mr. Blue Sky, which is maybe arguably ELO's most popular record.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. It's subjective, isn't it? But is it on that album then?
It is, yeah.
Well, yeah, we listened to it once, you know. Think about swans. No noble swan, flapping your wings. Only the king can eat you. Noble swan, he wants to break your arm, 'cause he knows you can't get him, because the King of England will kill you. So leave the swan alone. He is fully grown, and you will only moan as he beats you up with his incredibly strong swan neck that only the king can break. The king can break.
Now what's all this? Bits and pieces. Broken bits and pieces of things.
But let's have a look at The Wizard, which is off the first album. Now, this was written, the lyrics were written not by Ozzy Osbourne, but by Geezer Butler. And he said that this character of the Wizard was inspired by Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Now, I'm going to read you the opening verse. Misty morning, clouds in the sky. Without warning, a wizard walks by. Casting his shadow, Weaving his spell, long grey cloak, tinkling bell. Right, that is the opening verse of The Wizard. The chorus. This is the chorus. Never talking, just keeps walking, spreading his magic. All right? Now, is it just me? But the idea that this is obviously being seen by someone. This is the character that's watching this. Right? So it's a misty morning. There's clouds in the sky. Straight off, if it's a misty morning, you won't be able to see any clouds in the sky because it'll be foggy. You wouldn't be able to look up. But that next. And then, without warning, a wizard walks by. Now, for me, of course, if I am going to meet a wizard, I would like the warning first. I would like there to be a warning. Maybe normally with wizards, they have some sort of person that goes forth before them, you know, announcing, everybody get ready, there's a wizard about to walk by. Is that the established norm? Because this song straight away points out that in this case, that wasn't the fact. Without warning, a wizard walked by. Casting his shadow. Right, it's a cloudy sky. It just said in the line before it's a cloudy sky. Now he's casting his shadow. Is that magic? Weaving his spell, which of course we expect from a wizard. Long grey cloak. Tinkling bell. I don't need the tinkling bell. The tinkling bell is not working for me. It's comical. It's comical. The whole thing is comical. Verse 2. Evil power disappears. Demons worry when the wizard is near. Right? What are they worrying about? Is it the fact that they're worried about the wizard, or they just start worrying? You know, I worry a lot. I definitely worry about all sorts of things. So they were, you know, as soon as the wizard appears, they go, oh my God, the demons, oh my God, have I left the gas on? Because of course, if you're a demon and you leave the gas on, this is a terrible thing. This could cause all sorts of untold terror, which of course you would assume a demon wants to cause. What does a demon worry about when the wizard? It must be the wizard, right? Because he turns tears into joy. Everyone's happy when the wizard walks by, right? So why is it bad to not be warned about the wizard? Right, we've moved on now. Sun is shining, clouds have gone by. All the people give a happy sigh. That's the best I can do to emulate a happy sigh for you. He has passed by giving his sign, left all the people feeling so fine. I assume it's that. That is the only sign that he could have given at that point. That's what I'm imagining. So this wizard walks in without any warning. He tinkles his bell. All the demons get worried. What happens then is everyone is happy. They give a sigh, and then he leaves, giving this universal sign that everything's fine, which of course must be that. Maybe it's that. I can't imagine what the sign is. Maybe it's some sort of esoteric sign that hasn't been explained. And that's the song done, right? I must say, we have another thing you must check out in Nissa. It's called Marmite. And you're either going to love it or hate it. And that's what my channel's a little bit like that. I've got to be honest.
Marmite.
Have you had it?
Yeah, I wasn't bothered either way.
Oh my God, that is an example of extraterrestrial evidence there.
Different palette.
Yes. Now I might have to edit this bit out because you're subterfuge by being out there to hide yourself. If anyone's watching this laughing up their sleeve thinking that's not a real alien, there's some sort of fool doing that, they will reach that point and go, hang on, how can this guy be not bothered about Marmite? Because here on Earth it's almost like a law. That's this is why on my channel's the same thing. I don't think there's anybody that's just on the fence when it comes to my channel. But
there's actually a planet called Marmite.
Is there?
Yes.
Well, what do you think of that planet?
It's in Andromeda. I've heard good things. I've not been myself, but yes, it has a. Yes, a reasonable atmosphere.
What's it like underfoot?
Underfoot is a bit gelatinous.
Yeah, and a bit sticky.
It's a bit sticky underfoot. Yes, it has a kind of yeasty atmosphere, but yes, I mean, some people love it. Yeah.
But then other people hate it, I assume. I bet that I mean, you never visited there, so you wouldn't know, but I imagine there'd be two tribes on there, wouldn't there? And they would be continually at war.
Yes, the Marmite Wars.
The Marmite Wars, yes.
Yes,
Are they
I've heard of the Marmite Wars. They are very serious. And yes, we try to bring an end to war. That would be nice. But
well, don't bring Marmite into it. Whatever you do, not on Earth. If you think, when you've brought people together and they're all holding hands and loving each other, and you think, Andy mentioned something, and you decide to whip up some Marmite on toast and you offer it to the group, they'll just be back fighting again. So that's another tip. I've tried to give you many tips as I can here, from because I've got a good knowledge of Earth, being a human being. See, so I've tried to use those skills. I haven't got much else to really, I know a lot about bands, but I've tried that, and I tried it with cardiacs, which I thought would work. But yes, you're not. I mean, Def Leppard.
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard.
Oh, Def Leppard.
Def Leppard fan. Do you know of them?
I've heard the name.
Lighthouse Family.
Are they the lifted ones?
Yes, they are the lifted ones.
Yes, well.
Yeah, avoid them.
Not for me.
Avoid them. If you do land on Earth with a certain type of person, and maybe you're sat in their nice house, they'll say, you like music, I'm really into the Lighthouse Family, and they try and play at you. You need to exit it. The purity of your being will be sullied by such an awful sound.
Yes. I believe that their sound waves are actually deliberately laced with pure boredom.
Now, the only thing that is worrying me a little bit is my lack of hat work, right? So we'll just put that to there, and we'll see how this goes. Just hold your horses, will you? Now, I want you to look at Scott there with his fiery Kentucky Fried, what is it, Burger King hat on. Now, I haven't planned this. I haven't planned this, right? But I am now going to return, and I have pulled this out of nowhere. Think about this. Right? I haven't even tried. What can I say? If I want to do hat work, I can do hat work. I'm an expert on YouTube hat work, in fact. There, another look for you. How about that one? Yeah, all sorts of. I can get all sorts of I get all sorts of looks out of this one. That's just the one ear down. Say I was talking to you, and I wanted the other ear to come down. I just do that, right? I think I've proved my point. Shall we finish up there? Bye bye. Switch this light off. I'll go open the curtains.
And when you unite the opposites of chaos and order, you get the sublime. And great music is about the sublime, right? So when you grow a moustache, what you are doing is you are channeling the sublime through the integrations of the great binary elements of masculine and feminine, which really embody chaos and order.
This is the Chick Corea Electric Band live in Japan in 1987. They're playing a track Rumble off the debut album again. I think that album, I mean, I do love that album, but as the time goes on, I realise it's the root of so much evil that you can almost like date back to all the problems that we're having now, probably back to 1986 when Chick Corea's Electric Band first album came out. Now I will join this concert in the middle of Dave Weckle's drum solo. Have a listen to this. Well done, Dave. Now look, what is actually going on here? That's what I want to know. As you could see, Chick Corea was there doing this sort of movement like a sort of toy soldier, but he seems to be directing his musicians. Now, remember this thing I said that I always feel that by this point, Chick Corea got quite despotic. I don't know whether it was the L. Ron Hubbard influence, where, you know, that he felt like he had to create a cult within the Chick Corea Electric Band. But here we have, you know, three of the greatest musicians of all time, absolute legends. John Patitucci, Eric Marienthal on saxophone, and the great Frank Gambale on guitar. Now, if they were in my band, I'd just let them do their thing, but not Chick Corea, not when you're Chick Corea. What you do is you create a dance routine where you are some sort of Tchaikovsky nutcracker overlord doing your toll soldier, and this is somehow directing these to come out pretending to be robots. But to me, they look more like jazz rock fusion zombies. And I just, you know, can see that Dave Weckle must have been so happy that he played the drums at this moment. Just watch this. They're frozen now. His little clustered piano chord seems to be controlling Frank Gambale in some way. He doesn't want to jump around too much because that wig will come flying off. record.
Love
What's this?
guessing games, especially
It's gonna
when
ruin everything.
I'm sure to win. Think of an animal. Say, okay, when you're ready.
Stop now. Wish I'd done that. This next one is just, it's low-hanging fruit, but I banged it in there because for comedy purposes. So this is Demis Roussos with the album Mes Success. Now, Demis Roussos is allowed to be covered on my channel because before he was Demis Roussos, he was the lead singer of Aphrodite's Child, which started out as a pop band, but of course, famously in the early 70s, made a conceptual album called 666, which some people here think is an absolute masterpiece. I think it's an absolutely awful album, but certain proggers absolutely love it. But there are a weird bunch out there that like Italian prog, and I have to be aware that that is the case. Scott Larday being an example, I had to go and get him to look at PFM. Now I like PFM. Aphrodite's Child, that's a bit much for me. But the thing is, with Aphrodite's Child, it did produce the sensation that was Demis Roussos. Now, anybody here in the UK of my age would have grown up watching Mike Leigh's masterpiece play called Abigail's Party, where a lady called Abigail throws a party and all sorts of terrible things ensue. But throughout that, she keeps playing on a record player, Demis Roussos. She loves Demis Roussos, and it's not just his voice in the songs, it's also him. I think in the 70s, Demis Roussos represented an aspect of masculinity that we have sort of forgotten about in the ensuing years. And that masculinity is on full display with this album cover. Now, as well as showing peak masculinity, Demis is not afraid to also channel his inner femininity as well. So in a way, he is foretelling all the exploits and identity statements that we're going to see with our modern pop stars like Sam Smith, aren't we? Although I don't believe Sam Smith has the testosterone level to produce that amount of hair. Demis Roussos is an incredibly hairy man. I've got my shirt open because this button won't work, and I'm not doing it for effect because why would I? Why would I try and compete against this on my video? I mean, I can barely grow a beard here. I can do this bit here. Demis is just pushing hair out of his body. Now, this album cover is just truly awful. The typeface is all off-centered, and I don't like that. So you got Demis Roussos on the left, and then we got Mes Success. It's far too close to his head. It encloses him in too much. And then we have that gap, which they think is balanced by putting that horrible VU RTL up in the right-hand corner. So graphically, it doesn't look great. And I do believe that the Mes Success, if you look very carefully, is not straight. It's slightly on the wonk, right? So, because back then they were doing this stuff manually. You know, I started, my first job was a paste-up artist before graphics went all on computers. So if you wonder why I have such an interest in this, it comes from the fact I got a degree in art, and then my first job was in graphics, and the old school graphics, and I know how they do this stuff, and it's difficult to do. It's lots of overlays and all sorts of nonsense. Now, let's have a look at this photo of Demis Roussos. I'm going to spend some time on this one because it's just absolutely wonderful. There is a theory that if you stand in a Superman pose with your hands on your hips, it frees up all the sort of, what are those, like, you know, the bile, the way the bile moves around the body. Not the bile. You know, there's things in your armpits that swell up. What's that called? What are they called? It's your immune system. You know, you've got those things and it goes around. What's that called? Anyway, there is a theory, and I've been told this, as that this is the case, is that if you stand in the Superman pose, it frees up your tubes, basically. Your tubes start to run much better, and the flow of energy around the body, it all starts working in a sort of new age way, you know, all the tubes are like free to move. Do you know what I'm saying about the tubes?
Now, obviously, with Demis, his tubes are full of testosterone, aren't they? So, you know, when he frees up his tubes, the testosterone just is in full flow. And I wonder whether this is the pose that Demis utilised to be able to create such amount of hair and bodily mass. Now, Demis Roussos is famous for being a fat bloke, really. And most of the time he would wear some sort of long kaftan type of fare. That was what he was famous for. But here he's not gone for that. And here he's wearing this like lady's silk blouse. What sort of lady would wear this blouse? I don't know. I don't know whether you can button it up, but if you can, Demis Roussos' chest is so powerful that it has burst that open, and the hair of his chest, which is mushrooming like a nuclear bomb exploding from below. The metaphor for that we don't want to go to, but it's like a black hairy mushroom cloud who's exploding upwards from there, from below. And you could see that there's a lot of mass there. He's got white trousers on, hand on hips, and then he's got, and it obviously has been made by somebody because it's not cut well, this sort of sparkly waistcoat. And then what the hell has he got around his neck? Is that from like a Native American? I'm not too sure. But he needs that there to keep under control some of the biggest 70s collars I've ever seen in my life. Now, of course, we know that the 70s collars are a metaphor for masculinity. There were many in the 70s, and we know that is the case. If you go back to the early 70s and look at any masculine man, then look at the size of his collars, and you will see. Now, obviously, that shirt could never have been done up because, you know, Demis's neck is thick and sturdy. And then when we get to the face, look at that beard and hair combo. And the thing with Demis is he is an extremely handsome man, isn't he? He's a large, bulky man, but he's very handsome. And he's not smiling, right? He's not frowning. He's looking like he's trying to get his breath back. That's what he looks like to me. I don't know if there was a flight of stairs to get to that point, but he just looks a bit like, you know, he's just trying to get his breath back. I think I've destroyed this enough. Incredibly complex arrangements, exploring some sort of esoteric English aesthetic, but in front of huge audiences. Jethro Tull on the back of Aqualung had become an FM staple and an arena-filling band. And so we get to hear a band of this virtuosity level with a full record label behind them, brilliantly recorded, presenting this incredibly complex music in front of a live audience. Now, this... Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed that little void through some of the funnier bits on my channel.